What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've been waiting for this piece for a really long time and I'm really excited. This is the F4 Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Majin Vegeta diorama. This is a quarter scale diorama. It's supposed to be humongous, so let's get into it, check out what it has to offer. I'm so excited to see what's happening with this thing. It's long awaited, so let's get into it and check it out. Alright guys, let's get into it. Oh, first of all, let's talk about the box art. How did we almost forget that? You guys saw the top, this beautiful artwork of Majin Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 2 Goku. It looks really good. I love this gold foil seal right here, so you know it's official. It says Son Goku versus Majin Vegeta. The F4 logo on the front. This is a photograph of the statue here. It looks absolutely amazing. It's really high def and not pixelated at all. It looks great. I really like this box art that they're doing with this. So far, so good. So here's the painting concept art here on the front again. More quarter scale, more logo, same old stuff. Out here on the back, the long-awaited fight. It goes on to say some stuff in other language. Oh, is the 11th episode of the Babidi Saga and the 230th overall episode of the original dubbed and the uncut Dragon Ball Z series. This series first aired in Japan on June 22nd, 1994. American aired was October 31st, 2001. I really like the little clip of DBZ anime history you get here. That was a really cool touch. Again, the artwork behind here is great. Huge picture of Majin Vegeta, huge picture of Goku. Wow, I really like, so far I'm really loving the taste of F4 here. This is really cool. A little bit more on the same here. So let's go ahead and get this thing open and see what's up. I can't begin to tell you how heavy this thing is, guys. I've unboxed a lot of statues. I've reviewed a lot of statues. I own a fair amount of statues. This thing is maybe one of the heaviest ones. It's a big box, it's a big package, but man, the weight is insane. So keep that in mind if you plan on displaying this. Holy shit, this thing is humongous. How do you get this out of here? Oh my gosh. Perfect. You guys are the most involved face ever in the history of my experience with DBZ statues. This base is just so crazy. Alright guys, after that ridiculously long unboxing, look, straight up, this base is the heaviest thing ever, and it was really difficult to get out of the box, which you saw. Really hard to get out of there. It is so heavy and so solid. This thing will not go anywhere. It will definitely support these huge characters that we're seeing here. We're going to take a look at all the different parts and then do the fun part and assemble this thing, so stick around. Alright guys, here are all the parts. I think there's a lot of cutouts in the foam, so I might be finding another part in there later, but from what I see, I think that's everything. The base, Absolutely humongous. Huge. This is a 26-inch wide table. Just fits. Here are all the parts. So let's get to putting it together. All right, guys, so believe it or not, for as big and as crazy and as super dynamic as this statue is, there's really not that many parts, which I was really happy to see. I personally think that just means really good engineering. So again, we're gonna just start down here with the base. The base looks absolutely amazing. I love this clear resin gel Majin emblem M here, totally transparent, really gummy looking. It just looks amazing. The border of the base here is particularly nice. I'm a big fan of weathering. I'm a big fan of things looking really battle worn and really damaged. So the fact that this is such an epic scene, of course, it's just so much action. So the base really does deserve to be beaten up and put through the ringer, just like we're seeing. There's cuts, there's gashes, there's dirt, there's weathering all over it. I really love this grayish purple color. I think it looks really great. Moving on up into the rocks. The sculpture of the rocks is absolutely amazing. It doesn't really look too much like other rocks I've seen before. It looks a little bit more realistic and slightly less flat and simple like from an anime. So you have this gigantic piece of rock coming back here. It does come maybe about ½ of an inch past the border, not too far. In the photos before, it looked like it came really far back, but it actually doesn't. Again, you got this piece, this piece, this piece, huge rock foundation. They're actually not even doing anything. Nothing's plugging into them or anything like that. So they're just there to be badass and make this piece super epic. I love the weightlessness of the clouds and the smoke here and all the little rubble. It really kind of gives me the vibe of the Uzaru Gohan versus Vegeta piece with these pieces and all the rock floating and stuff like that. It kind of really gives me that vibe, which that too is quarter scale, so them together would probably look really, really great. Moving on, I love this middle part, all the cracks. Again, it's just really, really good detail. So I'm really impressed with the lightning effects. Usually, personally, with me, with a statue, if it has a whole lot of lightning effects or a lot of light effects going on, I'm usually not a huge fan. That stuff breaks really easy. It tends to be brittle. Sometimes it can even make the statue look a little cheaper just because it kind of has like a plasticky look. This just has a handful of lightning effects, but they are so thick and so solid that I'm actually really, really, really happy with it. There are a couple pieces that are a little thinner than others, but even those just seem strong. And yeah, they could break if you're like not being careful or you're just not paying attention. Sure, they can break, but these are by far the thickest and strongest lightning effects that I've seen in a statue in a really long time, maybe even ever. So again, you got this big plug-in plume of smoke right here in the middle that dropped into the base, as you saw. So let's start off with Goku. Again, the characters are humongous and they're powerful, and the movement and the pose of everything is just really good. Goku's orange of his outfit is just popping. It's so bright and it's so perfect. It's that perfect blend of realism and from the anime. I love all the cuts and gashes all over his suit. Again, it just really looks true to what we've seen on TV and in the books. The line work in them is really good. The sculpt is super deep inside of those, inside the pants where the leg meets the pants. It just really goes far, far, far in there. With this scale, I just feel like you can really take advantage and get that detail going on in there. I love how Goku's hand is actually making contact with Vegeta's knee. It's not really touching or securing it or anything. It's actually got a little bit of a gap between it, but it just goes to show you like these two totally separate huge characters coming together into that one part there is great. I also love the two hands holding, that's one piece. So Vegeta's hand and Goku's hand that are being blocked are one piece. And the engineering on this is really good. That looks amazing. The portraits are just out of control. I love the blood. I love the hair. It's really sharp. Color, perfect. The blood is really good. I love the abrasions as well as the drip. All the different kinds of blood is really effective. It just looks absolutely amazing. Not too overdone with the blood, but enough to where this is an adult piece. This doesn't really look like anything for like little kids or anything like that. Again, Goku's halo just looks really great. It's a little foggy in the as far as it being super transparent, but it doesn't bother me at all. It actually kind of just diffuses the light and keeps a nice even band of color going around the halo there. Goku is absolutely amazing. His proportions are unreal. He really just anchors into his left foot there. Moving on to Vegeta. Vegeta is the epitome of dynamic with this piece. He really just keys into this one plume of smoke here, which leaves his entire body essentially floating here. Again, like I said, this is one piece, so that anchors him into Goku a little bit, but really it's just here into this fist, and that's magnets. It's not a very strong magnet, so it's not actually really creating any real support. It's just creating a counterpoint there for it to have a little stability. Again, the way that they come together and create contact is really what brings this piece together. The fact that I can put my hand all the way through here and just have Vegeta floating over. The way they make eye contact together is particularly good. They're looking right at each other. There's no mistaking it. The texture on Vegeta's boots is pretty amazing. You can see almost like the flow of the texture itself. I really, really like that. Maybe almost a little too much texture on his boot. I would think his boots would be more of a leather, and this is like pretty gritty. I guess if I had to pick no texture or a little over texture, I'd rather the little over texture. I'm really happy with it though. It looks absolutely great. I love Vegeta's clothes being torn and then actually folding over. They're not just torn and stuck up. They're actually, you feel the weight of his clothes bending it and folding it. That's really great. Moving on, Vegeta's anatomy, his muscles in his back is just on point and looks great. You can really see his anatomy even through his clothing. The lightning effects were really, really easy to find where they went. It was pretty obvious, so I didn't tinker around with that too much. Again, Vegeta's portrait is just so on point. The cuts are great, the dripping blood is great. The fact that they're making such intense eye contact, and it's just undeniable that they are dueling and battling it out. And this really brings me back to when I watched this as a kid and just thought of how epic this was and how intense this particular moment actually was. This statue just doesn't stop hitting. It's really, really great. It's humongous and it's so dynamic and there's so much going on. To be honest with you, I really think that it's probably going to have to live on this table because I have 18-inch depth in my cases over here. I could do it and make it hang off the back, but ultimately I really feel like this table was made for a piece just like this. So we'll probably end up leaving it here and keeping it on its home right here. But again, guys, this is just unreal. I couldn't be happier with the whole thing. I think it's really, really great. Yeah, let's dive into it and let's get some full 360 shots. Let's look at all these details, and I'm going to show you guys all the bells and whistles that come with this thing because it has so many. Again, I just can't say enough. So let's get into looking at some details and show you guys what I'm seeing over here. Check out the COA card, guys. So it's basically a typical credit card, playing card size. The thickness, it's not super thick. It does have a really nice kind of textured matte finish on one side and a very high gloss on the other side, but yeah, I think it's like still a paper card, but it looks really nice. I love the foil artwork of the illustration of Majin Vegeta versus Goku right here. It's got a really nice holographic effect. This is number 238. The back has a line drawing of Goku and Vegeta here, rearing up, ready to do their thing and shoot a big blast. So again, a beautiful logo, proof of authenticity. I'm really impressed with the card. I really like that a lot. Okay guys, I just wanted to go ahead and give you a look at the piece on its own in the studio lighting. This is with just my track lighting on, which is how I display most of my room here, as you can see. So this is pretty much what everything looks like usually, and this is the piece right here. Looks particularly good with the track lighting. Really gives it a more of a museum art gallery looking vibe, but it just even makes the piece look even more dynamic with the shadows and the directed light. Really happy with how this looks. I can't wait to get a couple of other corresponding pieces around it. I'm considering putting the Majin Vegeta bust, the J. Ross bust, next to it. And possibly the Super Saiyan Goku 1-to-1 bust by J. Ross on the other side. I think that would be really nice, having them each if they fit. That's the important part. But this is it here in the room. I'm really happy with this piece, guys. This is instantly one of my favorite statues that I have. It is up there with my bus. It's up there with my XC Trunks. It's up there with my XC Vegeta versus Uzara Gohan. It's one of those, you guys. This thing is absolutely amazing. Pack's a real hit. And I hope you guys get an opportunity to snag one of these up. Absolutely amazing. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. This was an absolutely fantastic piece, and to be honest with you, this is like why I do all of this. This piece hit so much harder than I thought it was going to. My expectations were pretty high because it looked so good online, but it's rare that it shows up and it's this much better in person. This is fantastic. Personally, I feel like this is one of my personal grails. This is just like something that I'm gonna wanna hold on for a really long time. I'm really glad I pre-ordered this and I didn't miss out. I think that this is just gonna be one of those pieces that we are going to notice floating around a lot in the community. And if you didn't pre-order this, I have a feeling that if you still can, please try to, because it is worth every piece. Every dollar. I really just can't say enough about how wonderful this piece is. F4 is really crushing it. If this is what's going on with this company, we have got to keep an eye out for them and what they got going on in the future, because this thing just did not disappoint. I cannot wait to see what they're going to come out with next. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed yet to the channel, please do that. Click that subscription. Click the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and you like seeing stuff like this. Also click that notification bell so you can keep up what's coming in next. We have actually just have been getting nothing but notifications of things being shipped, so I couldn't be more excited about what's coming in the future super soon too. So click the notification bell, get the alerts when the new statues show up so we can unbox these together and really dig into it. If you guys have any questions, if you want any specific information on this, please comment below. I'll be happy to engage with you guys and give you all the info I can. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks for joining me, and as always, we'll catch you next time, and we'll see you then.